I just realized I look really bad in yellow. Oh. So, this has been on my mind lately. My relationships in the past have been, like, I was real young. And so, they were chaotic. They were everything a relationship shouldn't be. And my ex thinks that he knows me today because of who he saw in the past. It's like going through somebody's phone, not trusting anybody, trying to find out where he is because he was always cheating, and dealing with the narcissism. And I was the type of person that would lack respect for myself and put up with the mental and physical abuse and still love the person anyway because I felt like they completed me. But it was only my codependency that kept me around and putting up with the things that I should have never tolerated in the first place. It was the feeling of feeling loved, but not truly being loved. Not feeling alone. That's what it was. I didn't want to be alone. I needed to be that person for somebody when nobody else was. And it made me feel better in the long run. It was actually a selfish move. And I didn't realize it until later that it was codependency. So being selfish in the sense that I kept him in the situation to the extent of him not even wanting to be there. It's like, it's a matter of, it's not where they are, it's where they want to be. Well, if you force somebody enough to pay attention to you, pay attention to me, I'm here, I love you, I care about you, pay attention to me, it's selfish in a sense to always point out the fact that you are this supportive factor in somebody's life when they don't even love you. They don't want to be there. They don't care enough about the situation to want to stay. That's why they continue to leave. That's why they continue to cheat and come back every now and again and say, I love you, I want to be with you, and they have issues that they need to deal with. But what I'm saying is I should have recognized my own flaws at that point. But I was so young and naive that I didn't get it. I was being played, but at the same time, I was acting on selfishness and whatever made me happy, to the extent of losing myself in the process and allowing somebody else to not be truthful to themselves. You get what I'm saying? And so it's not even pointing out what they did wrong because they know that they had, their own problems and issues, and they knew they were wrong in their decisions. But this is for me accepting, where I went wrong and what I expect to change. But it took years and years and years of me having to go through this over and over and over again to realize that it's a pattern. It's a pattern of codependency, needing that validation, not being able to validate myself, not being able to love myself, not being able to be happy without somebody else in the room. And it was one of the hardest things to do, is realize that a lot of it was me making me feel that way. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't loving myself enough to say, I need to walk away. And then I also realized that today I'm a completely different person in that sense. Like, I still have flaws. Everybody does. But I'm a completely different person. Like, when it comes to relationships, I'm not going to chase you down the street and find out where you are. I'm I may look at your phone, but I'm not going to go through your phone and try to find out who you're talking to. It's not the fact that I don't love you. It's not the fact that I don't care. I'm not, if you say you're going somewhere, I'm going to trust that that's where you're going. I'm not going to scream and yell at you during an argument, because where is that going to lead? See, relationships today, like for instance, because he hasn't healed, because he hasn't learned, if one of my exes were to say, like, visualize a relationship that I'm in today, they would say, based on my actions, I don't care. And it's because they're expecting this heartfelt, heart-wrenching reaction, screaming at the top of my lungs, because that's what proves I care. And they're completely wrong. Today, I've learned through all of the chaos in relationships that that's not love. Hatred, screaming at people, going through people's phone, distrust, all of those things, that is not love. That is dysfunction. That is chaos. That is a setup for failure. And if anybody thinks that hitting, fighting, screaming, going through each other's phones, jealousy, just everything, all of it. I mean, there's a level of trust where you can grab somebody's things that you're with, and say, I'm going to go, pick a song in your phone. Or, hey, I'm going to go text this person, because you guys trust each other that much. But when it gets to a point where you're no longer fighting in a relationship over things like that, it doesn't mean that you don't love that person. It means that you're mature enough to say, if you choose to do those things, you're your own person. You choose to do those things. It doesn't mean that I love you any less. It means I love myself enough, and I don't need your love. If you don't want to love me, I am whole by myself. And that's love. To be able to be whole and give that to somebody else. And I'm sorry I'm crying. It's happy tears. Because it's taken me a long time to get to this point and understand that. But I just wish that everybody else understood that too, for all those little girls out there. God, I look ugly when I'm crying. For all those little girls out there that have people telling them that, you have to act this way, and you have to be this way, and you have to be that. No. God says to be contained, meek, quiet, humble. And there is not a person in the world that should tell you that you should act out of character to show your love for somebody. Ever.